Whoa, everybody! It's Awestruck Comics Podcast. It is reviews day. It's our favorite day of the week. No, it's a day we look forward to. I would say at least.
What do you like better,
Uh,
news or reviews?
I don't know, man. I think
I
reviews
feel
because
like,
I think about it more. I feel like I'm corralling news Saturday night, and then I get mad because I can't find that much good news.
I think I'm the opposite. I think I like the news better because I'm just the news type of person. Like, oh, we're gonna get this, we're gonna get that, we're gonna get this. Maybe I'm more excited by the idea of what we could get, the
That's true.
possibility of the future, the hope of the future. But I think you're
Back
more
to
of
the
a
Future.
views guy because you're more like Rob. Look at this panel down at the bottom corner here.
Yeah,
The
I'm all
shoe. You're
meticulous. Well, I
like,
mean, again, I like news this week because I got to do math. I was doing math on the omnibuses and the trades and the
oh yeah, you
collected
were letting
editions
everyone
and the
know.
DC Finest and
Hey, everybody, you're
first
paying 3.6 pennies a page for this trade.
you're
No, that
paying
was fun. That was
four
fun.
cents for FF pages. Omnibuses
That
you're
makes
paying
well,
about
well
12
that
cents.
makes sense because FF should be four. It's a
Four, that's right.
fantastic 4 cents.
Yeah, Metamorpho you're paying 7 cents.
Well,
So
he's all the elements. There's gold in there, silver.
look around. There's social stuff around here. Social. Idiosyncratic Pulp. I'm going to try and do more postings. We're all trying. We're all
Yeah,
trying our best.
we
But
are.
let's jump right into reviews. And actually, what's funny about this is we talked about. Let me be silent for 1 second. Um, we talked about this in earlier in the week, and what's funny about it is that I changed my opinion already about this. I already
All right,
changed my opinion on this,
you're allowed to
and
change your opinion, but
I'll explain what that means. So, uh, kick off a little different. I'm going to go in order a little bit. We're going to Justice League Unlimited. All right, Dan
all right.
Mora. Pound for pound, the most going on per page, pound for pound, best artist. Right, this book by itself, best artist, great cover. Okay, Superman face here. We all know the big
You
topic of
you
discussion, all
don't
struck
yeah you don't
topic.
have a love of Dan Mora's Superman faces.
No, because here's the thing: his Batman, he already drew. He did draw Batman. He drew, I would say maybe 20 issues or so of Batman plus the Future State Batman, the Dark Detective Future State Batman, not John Ridley Batman. The boring
Right.
John Ridley Batman. My only question on this is, and this is just more of a timing thing, why did they put out that Adam Project miniseries 3 weeks ago? Like, why didn't you put this out? The concept of the Adam Project kind of starts here. I feel like they could have put that out
I agree with you. Maybe this
later.
book is running behind a touch.
Yeah, I
A
don't know.
touch. It's a lot. This book is a lot for a
I
single
think it's on
comic.
time. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's on time.
Yeah. Well, you and I have the opinion, and we talked about this on news this week. We like stuff to come out of other books. Like the Adam
Hmm.
Project should come out of this book. The question book should come out of this book. It should all be launched in the main book, and that's what would keep people, I think, more interested. You'd probably sell better copy. You sell more of your other books if people saw it in Justice League and be like, "Oh, where does it go?" You know. But regardless,
What I recommend everyone to get is get these glasses or get the blue blocker glasses that have like a little tint. Because you know what I'm looking at right now? I'm looking at like Valiant Vision stuff, right? My background's like in 3D. This is almost like in 3D. It's like Valiant Vision. It's a little bit more goldish,
you
a little
just
more sepia.
you look like
Really
a
cool though.
'70s card dealer
That's cool,
or
man.
car dealer.
I'll take it. I'll take
It's
it. That's
very
fine.
they're very '70s tinted.
Now, here's the thing.
All right.
What I like about Namor is everyone does look different. All right. Star Sapphire looks different than Wonder Woman. Okay. Courtney
Yes.
looks very specific, Stargirl. This is a new design. I don't know if this is his design of Stripe or I think Stripe showed up somewhere else. Did he show up at the end of JSA? The Jeff Johns, maybe,
Yes.
probably.
Yeah, but I don't know if this was the same or not.
I don't know. The Shazam, which Mora did draw a couple issues, did look decidedly different.
Yeah.
Also used different coloring. My trope issue with this page, with just concept, does every like scary thing have to be a pillar with an eye on it? Like I feel like I've seen it's Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's a
It's
pillar.
listen, pillars, monoliths are they're in the zeitgeist at the moment. They've been in the zeitgeist for a couple of years. We had all those
Yeah.
mysterious monoliths showing up. Some were explained, some weren't. Some were explained very weirdly.
M. Night Shyamalan. You know,
So
signs, baby.
monoliths are cool. Eye, the always the all-seeing eye, the on the dollar bill, the all the Illuminati stuff. We don't know.
Sauron's
So
eye.
So yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, the Eye of Sauron, the brown eye of Sauron. So
All right.
you have a problem with this Superman head?
No, this is good. This one's fine. Maybe it just needs to
Okay.
be a little further away. But look how perfect. Wonder Woman perfect. Courtney perfect. Um, Metal Men show up again. So many characters in this. Now, who is? Do I know who this is? Xanth Zal. Xanth Zal, the girl with the sword thingy. I don't
You
know
may
if I
not
know who
know,
that is.
but Mark Wade knows.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not to say that. I also think it's funny. There's a couple panels of Doctor Occult with this thing. It looks like a donut in his hand a little bit. It's kind of funny looking. He has like a pastry. He's
He's like,
shooting
hey,
people.
here, my little Pac-Man toy will help.
Yeah. That's fine. So it's funny. Yeah. So it's only three metal men can be. But Red Tornado basically is kind of like not necessarily the Martian Manhunter, but kind of the deployer of who needs to be where, which tracks, right? And if you say maybe he's even AI, is Red Tornado AI? Maybe. But I do like this. So everyone's deployed. Look how perfect this Batman is. Oh my Lord. Look at that.
Yep.
Just you know what? There's a lot of stuff going on. All right. I really like his inks. I feel like some of it are just scribbles, right? I feel like some of it is it's very like damn new Panosian. Like I feel like it's new Panosian, Jorge Jimenez. There's a lot of this is like Andy Kubert almost. Look at that. Andy Kubert there. There's a lot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
So
I can
I
see it.
guess you're right. I think this is my favorite because I get to like really I select the art and kind of pick on the art. I also if you're fighting magic. I guess the big sword's the thing. That's the Final Fantasy VII, right? It's
It's
just,
the absolute Wonder Woman we'll talk about later.
yeah, I know. I just, it's trope. Got to fight magic. Got to have a big sword.
Uh,
Okay.
or you know what else? You're trying to sell comics to kids, and manga has big swords, so let's have big
Yeah,
swords.
big swords.
And big swords are cool. Hey, how many characters do we love that have specific swords? Lion-O has the Sword
Link.
of Omens. Link has a sword. He-Man has a
Yeah.
sword. They're all
Yeah.
special swords. Lord of the Rings, he's got Sting, right? Sting.
hmm I drew Nintendo Power. I traced a lot when I was young because they had really good, cool, like anime-ish drawings of mega drawings of Link. If you remember, good times.
Yeah.
Good times. Me and 12 with some pencils. There's this donut. Got the actually, you know what it looks like? That's what I thought it looked like. It looked like a peppermint. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Sure, grab a peppermint on the way out.
Right.
I'll shoot you with it. I don't know if I like the Flash's costume. I don't love it in the book. I I know Warlord showed up in Flash this week, but I just don't like. It's like weird. He's got like I don't know. I don't know. I don't like the handy thing. Great Zatanna. Perfect.
That's a
Perfect.
good mix of like traditional costume. It's like here's black
Mhm.
because she's a magician, but also the fishnets. Like so, here's a
Yeah, the
mixture.
fishnet like incorporated. Very cool. Yeah, because she did have a fishnet costume also. Correct. Yeah, so
Right.
you're right. That's a very and like even the coloring is it's like a satin, like
It
that's I
feels
didn't
like
even
an
notice that.
actual cloth. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even zoom in on that. That's pretty cool. So again, I'll talk more about this in the next when we talk about Superman, but this is really what I want. Like look at the dynamic space of where we got to find something. This is the only downtime in this issue. This issue's got tons and tons of action, which I feel like
Yeah.
is so much fun. And I don't really think it's
Listen, man,
harder.
you
This
get to
isn't
know these
harder.
characters in their own books. So when you get them
Yeah.
together, you're just progressing. You're just moving forward. The only downtime you get is there for like Airwave, a character that's not in other comics right now.
Mhm. Well, him and Question kind of put him on a task this week, which works.
Yeah.
But I feel like I already know what's going to happen with Airwave. Like I already feel like I know what's going to happen, which is
Right.
going to be like, I don't mean to
Right.
be a villain, but I'm not a villain, but I am, but who knows? But I do think it's kind of fun. They're using Plastic Man to break in to find out where, um, what's her name?
Yeah. Phantom.
You know,
Phantom Girl? Phantom? I don't know. Something like
yeah.
that. So
So, but
her and Plastic Man switch powers,
mhm.
and she's just horribly disgusting because she doesn't know how to control it. Go back a page so people can know what
which
I'm
is
talking about.
which is Doom Patrol, which is like that's the Doom Patrol concept. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's
And
that's
it
correct.
works. Just gross, dude. Just gross and awesome at the same time.
Well, that was good in the. I only watched the first season of Doom Patrol on DC Infinite Universe,
It
whatever the heck
gets
it was
it
called.
gets weirder every season.
Yeah, and
I
then the
like it.
Danny the Street. Yeah, I should go back and kind of finish it out. But
Danny the Hey, do you think Danny the Street was an Alan Moore idea? Because remember Alan Moore in
not
Blackest Night?
everything, Rob. me
Yeah,
explain something to you. Not
let me say
everything is
something to
an
you.
Alan Moore idea, or not
You're right.
everything is, or what you now theorize is everyone has an almost Alan Moore idea. So they
Yes.
just, it's a tangent
Well,
from. Not everything is though. Just
in
an
Alan
FYI.
Moore's Blackest Night short story in Green Lantern, he was telling them about the future. Liefeld actually just did a podcast about this, how like Jeff Johns, all his Blackest Night stuff, so much was taken from this Alan Moore short story.
Mhm.
It's an incredible short story. Um, but in it, he talks about ranks the living city. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
like
All right. Well,
so then we get Danny the Street, which is a living street.
all right.
Now
Maybe
I don't
you're
know
right.
if anyone had ever done that prior. I mean, Unicron's a living planet, you know.
But Morrison
Actually,
did come in with that school with the Alan Moore, like Echo School
oh yeah, he
with Milligan,
and Grant
Delano,
Morrison loved
Gaiman.
Alan Moore.
Mhm.
Grant Morrison wanted to do a Kid Miracle Man short story. Now Moore's like, no, Miracle Man's mine right now, which sounds like a jerk, but at the same time, you have some kid coming in trying to hone in on your stuff.
Listen,
Like
kid, it's Grant.
I got both opinions. Both opinions
Yeah,
are correct. Grant Morrison's like, oh, I just want to do a short story. I had a good idea. You know, sad young writer me. But at the
yeah,
same time, Alan Moore's like, no, I've been working my ass off, putting everything I have into the story. You're just going to come in and do a short story? Like, no, wait till I'm done.
yeah.
Which he did, because Grant Morrison has a short story in Miracle Man Apocrypha drawn by Kelly Jones. And it's kind of a dark
Oh,
little story.
I gotta put
Uh-oh.
that in
Do you
my
have that in
Kelly
your
Jones
Kelly Jones?
collection. I do
No,
not.
no.
No, I
Do you
used to
have
have it.
Miracle Man?
Mm.
Marvel never did anything with Miracle Man Apocrypha.
I have Miracle Man. I think the annual, and I have
Oh, that's
Zero.
good.
You know.
What's good about the annuals? The Mike Allred,
Hmm.
Joe Quesada. That's got
Yep.
a grandma. That might be his original story that he was going to do.
Oh,
That
all
story
right.
that he wrote that Joe Quesada drew was a story that he proposed to do while Alan Moore was still writing the book. So
Oh,
he
I
did a
see.
different story with Kelly Jones, and Pete Milligan wrote the Mike Allred story.
Is that beeps
Yeah,
on your end?
that was it. Yeah, it's
That's okay.
probably it's my daughter probably drying her hair, so it sets off the fire alarm in her
Oh well.
room just as a warning. Yeah, they're
Hmm.
sensitive. Also, like, don't
That's
straighten your
okay.
hair. You got beautiful curly-ish hair, wavy
It's
hair.
better to be. It's better to be sensitive, Rob. Okay. Be
I know.
sensitive, Rob. But I think I think I might even spoil it when I talked to you on the phone earlier this week because I love the coloring here as Tamara Bonvillain and doing on Plastic Man, right? I don't think I've ever seen. We've seen flat, we've seen,
Yeah,
and there's a
he,
couple things, and I know I later on I go back to when we're looking at Superman. Tim Moore can also do this. He can also do like this, like pretty much like a straight up like anime, like a manga page, right? That's pretty neat.
yeah.
Um,
When he gets
I,
his powers back, it looks like the stretchiest silvery kind of balloons. The shine is perfect. It's just so cartoony. And then he turns it down when he hugs her. And then when she starts to disappear, he's sad and he's all flats.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
It's
know,
really
you
good.
the facial emotions of elation of getting his powers back, the happiness of being with her, and the sadness of her starting to disappear. And then the fourth panel where everything has dropped and he's just like he's not drooping, but like really well told, really good storytelling in this page.
Yeah, and this tracks because this is she was
Oops.
part of the Terrific. She's wearing a Terrifics costume basically,
Right.
uh, and Terrifics is going to be I basically in the new Superman movie.
A
So
you think the Mr. Terrific has formed a terrific group
sure, I don't know if they're going to
ish?
call it that. No, it's called it's Maxwell Lord's. They work for Maxwell Lord,
Oh,
so
do they?
it's yeah. They whatever symbol they have was on a Maxwell Lord building or something. They work for Maxwell. Spoilers. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's probably going to be out there, but I
Which
don't
is
know if
which is
I'm totally
which is
sold
Sean
on
Gunn,
either of
right?
these.
Sean Gunn is Maxwell
Yes,
Lord.
yeah.
So that's the fourth DC character he's played.
And that how many Maxwell Lords have there been? Three. Was there one in? There was one in Superman
I mean,
Lois. There's one in. Is there one in
was there one in Smallville? There was definitely one in
Lois and
CW.
Clark? Yeah,
Lois and Clark. There was and of course Pascal Ferry or Pascal Ferry, Pedro Pascal,
and Pedro Pascal Ferry.
Pedro Pascal Ferry.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was Maxwell Lord.
Terrible Maxwell Lord. He was well. Maybe he was. Maybe he was great. Maybe he was great. I don't know.
He
That movie
he
just
could
makes
have
no
been
sense
he
to
could
me.
have been great.
Maybe it was. Maybe I just wasn't catching it right. I think I caught a scene of that one time, and I'm like, oh, maybe this isn't that bad. But I think it is. I don't know if I love either of these Adam costumes. I think they are Dan Moore designs technically. I don't know if I like either of them. It doesn't feel like Ray Palmer Adam, so I don't know. I feel like there's so many different. There's been so many different Ray Palmer Adam costumes. Are you going to do the Gil Kane? Are you going to do the
Yeah, the Gil Kane's so
swashbuckling
funny. That's so
one?
fun.
It is. I don't know if it's going to fit today's sensibilities, but you have Ryan Choi right there. So now I don't like that Ryan Choi Blue Beetle costume. Why don't you do the Blue Beetle costume? I don't know, but I
Adam.
guess it's
I was at
uh yeah,
Adam.
that's right. That's right.
I
It's the
wish
Adam.
this. I want more Ted Cord. Give me more. I was glad Ted Cord showed up in this,
Ted
right?
Cord shows up in the beginning. Yeah, that's right. I
Yeah,
guess I'm
so
I'm,
cool.
I'm mixing my Adams and Beatles. Okay. This is a great Aquaman. They do have to mention that this doesn't make sense with like this Aquaman being here or whatever, that it takes place prior to Aquaman 1. Great. And
Yeah,
then it knocks about. So this is falling in between the two different things here. But this is funny. He's like, this I shared an adventure with his predecessor years ago, which is coming out. So they're going. I guess the Swamp Thing's going to show up. Oh,
yeah.
maybe that's the story that we talked about in the news. Because I think there is a Swamp Thing in one of the pictures there. So okay,
I didn't read was it, I didn't read last week's World Finest yet.
I haven't read it. I haven't loved it. But here I'm zooming in a little bit on
That's
the the,
because
the Dan Mora.
who drew the Teen Titans World Finest book?
Sammy did the covers, right? I don't remember.
Is that person drawing World's Finest now? Because I feel like the Teen Titans artist was really good and
Oh,
would have
it's
been
it's Gavin Guidry, I think. I think you're right. I think that's right. Yeah.
okay. Okay. I
Um,
mean, we all miss Dan Moore, but Dan
I'd
Moore
say
can't
I'd say
draw everything,
throw.
believe it or not.
Yeah, I think one of the annuals. I think the World's Finest Annual is Clayton Henry. So Clayton Henry just worked with Wade on action. I feel like Clayton Henry would be a good fit for World's Finest.
Yeah, but he's what's he doing? A story in the Superman book? What do we just talked about him on the news?
Yeah, he's doing the either I think it's the World's Finest Annual.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he is working with Wade on that, but I wouldn't mind seeing him on that book. I do like a couple things here. Again, I think this is all digital, but the cross hatching is really fun. But I do feel it's like it's new. This stuff, especially here, it's new Panosian. Great. This was an amazing Swamp Thing. I
This
think Swamp
is
Thing has to be
this is
super
incredible.
fun
This
for
page is
people.
incredible. Like
Yeah.
if I were in the market for original art, this would be a really
I don't know
awesome
if he
page to
draws
have.
it. I don't know if he draws on
Oh no,
page.
it doesn't. I
Yeah.
don't think this page actually exists,
Yeah.
but it's a really cool page. It's a really good swap thing. I'm
Mitch
not a
Garrett's talked about that on a recent like word balloon
yeah.
where he does prints of his own artwork and he signs
Mhm.
it or something. Like he
He'll
does
do he'll do
high
like a
res.
101 high res, right?
Yeah, he does a high
And
res Gisli and signs it and I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but that's pretty cool. But if I know it's coming from the artist, I'm paying them X, and I know it's coming from them, and they're handing it to me. He's a really nice guy. I don't know if you ever talked to him. Mitch Garrett's a super nice guy.
no, I don't think I've ever talked to him.
But
Which
yeah,
is a
this
shame because
page
I do enjoy his artwork.
I do like that they're not doing Alec Hollander. They are talking. So everything's really heavy new continuity, right?
Is Alec Holland still alive?
I don't really remember. I
I don't
remember
think I
really liking
finished,
that the Levi story, which was the Ram V Swamp Thing from 2-3 years ago.
if not longer.
Which, yeah. But this is excellent. But I hate this. Felt really uncomfortable. Yeah, I kind of zoomed in to look at all the gunk, right? So
All
many
the
different textures. And listen,
vegetation.
I don't know how. I mean, I imagine he's fast, but like this is really hard to do digitally because it's not one pen weight. It's probably different things. I know in one of the programs uh, I use this one because I like to draw. And when we see the Ultimate Spider-Man later, I'll explain what I don't think he's using. He may be using the same program I was using, but I really like this one where you're literally using like a calligraphy pen. Um, you can do things with different weights. You can do, but to have all these different skinny lines, marker,
Yeah,
heavier
you
lines,
gotta
it's
you
a
gotta
lot.
plan ahead. You gotta plan out what you're drawing, how you're doing it.
I don't know.
But he's used to
Yeah.
it. He's used to it. So to him, it's just second nature.
Yeah. I mean, he
Like you,
drew a
like
lot
you
of
doing
different
you doing
settings.
math is second nature to you.
I did math. My
You want to
calculator
show
right
it
here.
off.
Calculator's
Yeah,
right here. It's always right here.
yeah. And seeing him
Um,
burn like this, oof.
I hate it. Yeah, I hate it. But he's always been really good with like lighting. Even like here, this is lit well, lit Manuel Miranda. But like this is lit well here from the bottom. And then so like Tamara knows what to do. Now Tamara has been coloring him, I believe, probably for 5, 6 years because she was the colorist on Once and Future. So anyway, pound for pound, page for page, panel for panel, all of it, all the P to Ps, penis
Yeah.
to penis. Just doesn't get better. Just doesn't get better than this. Now, here's what I talked to you about. All right. So
All right.
called you midweek, said, all right, two Dan Mora books. I like the Superman face less. Uh, I've here's
Yeah, but
what should happen.
it's not bad. I understand
I,
you liking it
I,
less.
I don't know. There's something about the hairline or something. Like as both our hairlines are going further and further back. I shouldn't really be critiquing, but again, it's a drawing, so you can do what you want. So you got some scribbles here. You got some Panosian scribbles working around Panosian. Great, great, great. This is Alejandro Sanchez, who I think, and here's what I just figured out today when I was screenshotting this stuff earlier, right?
I'm so glad. And we've talked about this because these two books have come out the same week, I think every
Don't
week.
Yeah, don't come out the same week. That's my point. My point is you got to just push one, two
See,
weeks out.
I like it coming out the same week because it's the same artist, different coloring, so they don't feel the same.
Right, they
And like
don't.
when I
Right.
read Justice League, I'm a Superman head. I say it every week. I'll say it every week. So
Mhm.
like to read Justice League and to get Superman, and then I get a Superman book. It's like great.
You're on a
I
high.
need more Superman. It is.
Yeah.
It's Superman high. And it's different coloring. It just feels different. This page is ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah,
This
no,
page,
it's yeah, but see here's the thing. And like so if he is using any poser or modeling or whatever, if he's doing any modeling, whatever, it's great. You know what I mean? It's doing it further back. And this always reminds me like the silent running. This is the long ship. This is the castle run. Like it's Tantive 4. It's like a similar to that,
yeah,
first Star Wars type of ship, right? Not really helicarrier which it could look like, right?
it looks like
Really
a
great.
giant rail gun. Like it just
Yeah,
looks
it's
cool.
awesome. Awesome. But here's the thing. I just feel like it should be on a different week because my issue when I was yelling at you, the other day when I'm yelling at you, the whole thing is that I was mad that the pages they're just walking into this room. So all we do a lot on the show is talk about we want 7 issues, 7 pages action off, kick it off, 7, 7, 5, 7 or 7, 6, 7, something like that. You know what I mean? Like something to that effect.
Also,
This I,
but
I
you
just feel
can
like
mix
this
that up.
could have been more. But when I looked at it again today, I'm just like, well, that's not what the story is. The story is it's like I'm leading you into this false sense of comfort, right? We're talking, it's diplomacy. That's it. But I
Yeah.
just feel like the angles should be a little bit different. But like you just said, and you just proved your point, which reinforces what I'm thinking. Um, if this just came out a different week, I wouldn't think about it this way because I'm just like, shouldn't you be there could be more dynamic angles here, and I don't know. But the thing is, all the action takes place at the end. I'm pretty sure I screenshot every action page upcoming. So you have about
Okay.
5, 6 pages of them just walking, talking.
Right.
Oh, I did zoom in here. I
Listen,
want to see if this is the same. I feel like this is the same drawing. Yeah, maybe. No, it's not.
yeah, because remember we were trying to
I was
compare
trying
the
to
other
get
week.
him.
You're trying to get him.
I didn't. Or he could have redrew a piece of it. It's not the same drawing. Awesome. Okay, well,
Listen, however he gets two books done a month, roughly, it's okay.
look, it's still great.
You're giving us at least 20 books a year.
Yeah, it's still great. But here's what the thing is: all the tension of everything right here happening from now post
Mhm.
is just great. Every page is banger. This page is a banger. The only thing is, I guess good on Kyle Higgins. Kyle Higgins has a Radiant Black. Is that his universe correct? I don't want this
Yes.
character to be called Radiant because I just immediately think of all the light stuff they do in Radiant Black, which is almost like a Power Rangers like
True.
take.
True.
So I don't like the name. I like the effects here. Great, no problem. And then I think there's Blue Dong. So anytime there's a blue floating guy with
I
no
know. You go
costume,
right
I'm
to
just
Doc
looking right.
Manhattan.
I'm going right to his penis. I'm looking right at
You're
the
going right
penis.
right down to the package.
Always. Yeah. Um, this is fine. Again, I don't know exactly his Superman looks different page to page. The whether it be the Widow's Peak or
I
something.
mean,
I don't know.
he
It
could be
feels
doing he
different.
could be doing a better job with the hair. Give us the curl. I know
Yeah,
he's flying, but I still want to see the curl. If you
yeah.
can draw Lois perfect in every page, which
She's
he
perfect in
he,
every
he
page.
does,
This is
you
perfect.
know,
Look at this
Supergirl's
perfect.
perfect. The Doomsday's perfect. Doomsday's awesome looking.
Yeah, yeah. And Lex, bearded Lex. And look at this. This is what I think I have a picture of that a little bit later where that's that's such like a manga panel, right? So you can do
Yes,
stuff like this. And I like he did this in World's Finest a lot where he had the eye coming through the hair. But
right.
this costume, I think that's a Jorge Jimenez costume. So this guy goes like right to it, you know. So and that's fine. Don't change that costume. The costume's perfect. Excellent. Um, and this is when this would be from the Jeff Johns.
No, that's from the storyline from last year.
This is a Williamson storyline from last year.
Yeah,
Okay, I got you. All right. Yeah, I just figured it wouldn't hurt. Just pop it right there. Editor's note. Pop it right
yeah.
there. Nobody's mad at that. Or if you want to do a promotion,
I
say
mean, I
like
mean,
this
it's the
issue, or
storyline
look at this
that
trade.
it's literally the storyline where he lost his memory. Like this is
Yeah.
right before he lost his memory.
Right. 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 Oh, hey, it ain't what John Ridley did last week, where he had a storyline 24 years ago. No one, it wasn't even good. You know.
And you know what's funny? This one references like the Jurgen Superman story from 30 years ago, and we're like,
Mhm.
yeah, cool. You're referencing that Doomsday Superman story,
Yeah,
and
the
then
Doomsday Hunter
and then
friend.
really doesn't. And we're like, meh. I think I see the solicitation for the next issue of Action. It's got like this demoness looking chick, and I'm like, I remember her from Joe Kelly's run. So
You
it's
love Joe
like,
Kelly's run. It's funny,
listen, Joe Kelly's
right?
run's good. There's some really good, solid. The two standouts, of course, is the Authority, the Elite issue, and there's an issue where Superman and Wonder Woman are stuck on a world for like 1,000 years,
Oh yeah,
and Superman
that's my
doesn't get
favorite
with
one.
her. It's great. Superman doesn't. He turns her down. She advances in a way. I got to reread it, but my memory is she advances on him, and he turns her down. He's like, I'm still married, even though it's been 1,000 years.
Mhm.
But then they do this. Batman does the same storyline like 5 years ago. Like
Right.
they're helping someone out. Like I forget, like some immortal warrior who was just always is fighting. So
Oh
Batman
yeah, yeah, that was the
and Wonder
Tom
Woman,
King.
it's the same story. They're stuck in a world for 1,000 years.
Mhm.
And I think Wonder Woman makes advances at Batman. So I guess if you want to get with Wonder Woman, you got to go to a world and be there with her for 1,000 years. So
That's the key. That
that's the
is the
key.
key.
It only
So
takes, and you know what? It's probably worth 1,000 years.
that's fine. Yeah, that's correct. I it's yeah, I know I did, and the more and more that's really why I'm not excited about that Supergirl movie, you know? Like because it's not an original Supergirl story. It's True Grit. I mean, he literally said it on multiple podcasts. It's True Grit. You're just
Like
redoing True Grit.
everything, listen, everything is something. Just because they tell you
Uh,
what it is doesn't mean, or if you figure it out, like you're the smart one to figure out, this is true grit. Don't let that take it away from you.
it's taken
Everything
away
is
from me.
something, whether it's intentional or not, it's taken from something.
I feel well, all right. Just don't have the main
Also,
through line of that.
don't you like True Grit?
Yeah, I like both
So,
True
so,
Grits.
so what's
I
wrong with
like the
seeing a
John
movie?
Wayne. I like the Matt Damon. Most people think of Josh Brolin in that,
Yeah, I know.
or the Dude, or Jeff Bridges. Um, Look at that crick crack. Very fun. All right, here we go. Oh yeah. So here's the dong. Here we go. I'll go right into it. There it
All
is.
right, it's
There it
good job.
is. See?
Yep.
That's what I do. That's what I
So
do on Saturdays.
he doesn't stop at blue balls. He stops at the whole blue dude.
Boom. Look at that. Oh, look at that action panel there. But see, this is where when I was looking at this, either last night or I was last night when I was looking at this, I was going, oh, okay. If I just had this on a different week, again, this is literally every this is literally every page. I think every page is a screenshot till the end. You
Right.
know, to the point where, yeah, I mean, again, all the effects, the action, again, pound for pound. Uh, Now I'll talk about this. I actually I pulled it a couple pages later.
I love it. I
Uh,
love having Lana Lang, Superwoman there.
Look at this, dude. Look how insane that is. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's an insane Superman Doomsday team up. But that's not
Superman's
all.
Superman's feeling a little Wolf
That's not the end.
Portaccio. You see little Wolf Portaccio there
Oh
as
yeah,
Superman?
yeah.
Unintentional, but I see it.
I like this too. I think there was a Brad Walker cover that had that on the news where you saw Superboy's like teat, his pectoral like move a
Yeah.
little bit. It was shaded and bent really cool.
All right.
So anyway, this is great, but this isn't the end. That's what I
And
thought was
and
kind of
and
cool
Radiant
about it.
there almost looks like Silver Surfer going at Superman. Like
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
almost
yeah.
picture a board underneath of him.
Look, I think the design's really good. Maybe not blue. I don't know. Green. I don't know. I just feel like the blue. I understand why, but it's just I really feel like that's it. Man, that Doomsday design, it's just so ridiculous. They're never going to change that. I mean, they have changed it here and there, but it's never really worked. Um, and then this, you just know what's going to happen. I kind of hate this. I really hate this. So the whole thing is that you can't see Superwoman, right? Because it's not like an EMP, right? Or something. Is it like an EMP where you can't get a good picture of it? So essentially, uh,
Yeah.
Jimmy goes to get a good picture of her, and you feel he's going to be dead here. That's it. He's going to get. He's going to get. He's going to get someone. He's going to kill one person. So you're going to kill Jimmy, right?
Well, if you kill Jimmy, wasn't in tradition the Banshee's job to help traverse you to the underworld? Like maybe she
Uh,
goes to the underworld to
hmm,
get him back
yeah,
if he were to get killed.
yeah. I don't know. I know she gets pulled out by Doomsday Time Trapper, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Um, which is awesome, and it was awesome a couple issues ago. So I think this is such a good idea. I don't know if Williamson has the whole idea, or if it was Wade for the powers moving around, or if that was Snyder. I don't really know who came up with that. I think that's really good. The powers changing. I think the satellite's a great idea. That might even be editorial. But I do say from this, what is going on? This is like this is like Mrs. Incredible, right? This is like The Incredibles. I feel like look, she's thick. Lois thick here,
Ah, yeah.
you know? And then
You don't
yeah, I think
mind.
I just pulled that panel because I like the way that, that bottom panel here. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boom. Thick. What's up, girl? That's really funny. That's really funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's your book. Book of the week for you, I imagine. 100 pages.
It's a great
Savage
book,
Dragon.
dude. It's a book I've been
Packed.
reading for 33 years, just about every month, month to month. Uh, yeah, 275, dude. But that's not including the miniseries beforehand, the Savage Dragon Megaton book. He's done 6 issues of Ant. He's done issues of Thor, 12 issues of Defenders, Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Comics. Like he's
Hmm.
done so much in addition to doing 275 issues of the ongoing series,
Right, right, right.
and at least 8 100-page specials, maybe more.
Yeah,
You know,
well, I
like
think he did some 80-page giants, something, or it's 80 to
it's
100 always.
he's done 25 was like double size plus. But then from like at one point on, it's like every 100, 125, 150, to 175,
Hmm.
and then just various issues before. He did a wedding issue like 6 issues ago, and that was 100 pages.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, so Larson's being Larson. He's got this awesome Captain Tootsie, which is a golden age public domain superhero only made to sell Tootsie Rolls. He's a Tootsie Roll advertisement bud.
I put this page in just because I love how it's inked. It's different. He's using a different style of it. It's the very golden age, very broad.
Yeah,
Yeah, really really
it's very
fun.
it's very CC Beck inspired.
Yeah, I got a Freak Force showing up. Freak Force, baby. Here we go. Little looser. I think I even talked about it earlier. Like I like that head. Like
Yes,
Mighty
he
Man's
goes
Mighty
back and
Man's
forth with
head.
his yeah. He's just an artist that loves to draw. Like I said, he doesn't need to do comics anymore. I love the Super Patriot. It's almost a
That
callback to another Super Patriot panel.
Yeah, I was trying to think if that was a Super Patriot panel from Larson or if it was Dave Johnson, you know.
Yeah.
So technically, who is this?
Spoiler.
Well, come on. If you're
This
reading this
is
book, you get it.
I know. All right. Paul Dragon had been around for the past couple of years, and that is Paul Dragon is the Savage Dragon that was the first Savage Dragon from Graphic Fantasy, and
Fantasy.
then in Megaton. Your Megaton comics are in continuity with Savage Dragon.
Hmm.
So original Savage Dragon is dead. Malcolm's dad is dead. So Paul Dragon shows up when all the worlds converge in this one storyline. So like everyone's
Crisis.
got the memories. Yeah, but what happened was people got memories of what they did on alternate Earths.
Hmm.
And they kind of feed it. It's almost they almost remember them like a dream. Like you just all your memories get jammed into you from all the multiverse. So like a Dragon's wife Maxine all of a sudden has memories of worlds where Malcolm Dragon married other people, where he married Angel, where he married this other chick. Um, but everyone's brain, how to, if you can deal with pain, you deal with stuff like that. Your brain learns to kind of numb it. So it kind of numbs your memories. But Paul Dragon shows up with the memories of all the dragons from the multiverse.
Mm,
So he's like, I'm your dad, I'm your dad. But he didn't have all of Dragon's power. He doesn't heal. He's powerful, he's strong, but he doesn't like have that healing factor. So he gets injured in the issue. And he also has a stupid fin on top of his head. It just looks like a croissant or like a turd across his forehead. And Malcolm kind of like never accepted him because he just looks so weird with that other fin. And
right.
then so he gets hurt, but they inject him with old dragon blood, which they happen to keep around, and it just
Happen to have
turned him
that
into
around.
like it's good. It's good to have around. They don't have a lot of it left, and yeah, it just turns him into hardcore old school Savage Dragon. So he's got the memories of all the dragons, but he's still not the Savage Dragon. You know
Right.
that Savage
Bra
Dragon is in heaven. Hilariously,
Brackathum.
Drakathum, dude. Now they're
So,
stuck there. And
so you probably go
what
ahead.
sucks is the next four issues each focus on a different one of Malcolm Dragon's kids. Malcolm has four kids from three different moms, and each one focuses on a different kid. But so it's like, are they going to get back to this? Are they going to make us wait? Like this is an incredible
Yeah,
cliffhanger. So they could make us
it's
wait
good.
four issues before they get back to it, or he could just tell. He could just intertwine the stories, which is just as likely too. I don't know how
Yeah.
Larson gets impatient.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like a break from it and then come back to it. I think it'd be kind of fun. So,
Yeah. And
um,
I didn't read the backups yet, but like this Scott James, he's just like a fan. This artist, Scott James. North
well,
Force is
yeah, I pulled a couple pages. So, because it says story, but I almost wonder when he says story, does he mean like layouts too? Like, I don't know if that means because it seemed so, but
this
this looked like
guy.
Otley. I thought this looked like a lot like Ryan Otley with
Yeah,
some of the cuts and the way this is inked here.
I see. I see. Yeah, he's a big Larson fan. Scott James, nice guy.
That's fine.
Um, not his full time job, but he likes to do this on the side. I think he does a book called like Juice Man, just about this big dude who's like jacked. I never read it, but I should. It's free. Fantastic Comics. That was a Golden Age comic. Has since entered public domain. Larson took this book and made a next issue project. So Fantastic Comics ended at like issue 42 in the 40s. Larson made Fantastic Comics number 43.
Right,
And
right,
of
right,
course, this character, Samson. I mean, he's super public domain. Like, Samson was from the Bible.
right,
So,
right, right.
Alex Ross used them in Project Superpowers.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, it was a good idea. Larson just took the story and said, hey, it's a short story I did. I might as well put it in Dragon. Like, I think Larson likes to do that. Like,
Is this different coloring than
yes. Oh, no,
it
it's
is?
different coloring. No, it's the same coloring. It's just
Oh,
on
okay.
different paper. Like, the actual Fantastic Comics is on like a thicker paper that
Yeah.
feels like a higher quality. So this paper might just be using it might just lay differently with the inks.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love the coloring on this, and this is stuff that we've talked about. I should really figure out how to do this. To do this offset coloring, this like fake offset coloring. But even like kind of zooming in slightly to this, like because this is on paper, right? He's not drawing digitally on something like
Correct.
this.
Correct.
So it's just a lot looser, and I just like that it's like practically layouts, right? It's practically the scribbles on it's really really fun. Also, I kind of zoomed in because more so not necessarily for the offset coloring was that the fact that even the printed paper is discolored like it's newsprint, like it's discolored newsprint, you know. So I think that's really fun.
Yeah.
This was the 24-hour comic, correct?
Correct. He did it for 24-hour day, and then he went back and colored it and put it out as an oversized, almost magazine sized book. Same thing. Super great paper, super hard cardstock cover. Um, and it collects this story along with other short stories he'd done for like a Thought Bubble anthology and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't have that. I have I that's the only one I don't have. I have
What,
because I have the
Herculean?
other two.
What, the two next issue projects?
Mhm.
There's three. Three next issue projects, one Herculean.
The Silver Streak.
Silver Streak and Crack. Crack Comics. Crack Comics has a variant. One's all red and one's Trimpy? I forget. Or
Herb
Winslade?
Trimpe.
Might have been Phil Winslade.
Same thing here. I like the coloring quite a bit. And this was the back cover. The back cover. Tried to find this and figure out, because it's not. I did find it. So Dave Johnson works with Essential Sequential, and so I found it was $300 as a pinup. It didn't. It sold like 6 years ago, but it was still on the
Okay.
website as sold out, right?
Yeah.
So 2012 sketch. So you can see it's not. So it's toned and stuff added to it, or at least the tones added to it, and then that's his paste in new signature, you know, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Cool. I'm glad
Pretty
you did some
cool.
research there, Mark.
There it is. And then I was going to ask you about this because is this printed?
Now, that's another case of
I
promotional
knew it.
artwork. We thought it was going to be the
Knew
cover,
it.
and then we don't get it as the cover.
I knew it.
I
It's the
know.
first time we saw Dave Johnson. It's the first time he may have been in print. Does that sound right? I
Mm,
don't know.
I feel like he did something before. Did you like any Legion artwork?
That probably might be in that mix. Right
It
around
might
that
be in
time,
that.
there was a lot of people in that mix. There was like a
Yeah,
Joe
yeah,
Phillips
because
and
like
a Brian Stelfreeze, Tony
right.
Harris. Like people might have done pages of stuff here and there.
And I think Larson was friendly with the beer bombs. I think they did a mini series for him.
Oh yeah.
I know Liefeld hired the beer bombs.
Who else worked on this, Rob? Come on, buddy.
What are you talking about? Super
Who else worked
Patriot?
on that miniseries?
It was Keith Giffen.
Yep. Keith Giffen layouts.
Keith Giffen
So
layouts.
if you have to
And
learn over somebody, that's just fine.
yeah. So
Let
what's cool
me.
is we haven't seen interiors by Dave Johnson in like 20 years, I feel like.
We
And we're
just talked
getting
to
them
him.
in. We did
Awestruck
talk to him.
exclusive. Awestruck Comics exclusive.
We were the first to talk about it. He's doing an issue of Batman, colon the Long Halloween, colon the Last Halloween,
Colon.
colon Dave Johnson issue. I think
Colon.
issue like 6 or 7.
Mhm.
So we're excited to see some interiors. It's funny, he's such a good Superman artist, but he hates his interiors. He feels like he's not a strong storyteller, and he said he had a hard time with Superman's head. So you'll probably recognize this if you go back and look at your Superman Red Sun.
Red Sun.
He has trouble. He struggles with drawing Superman's head. He says it feels differently every time he draws it.
Maybe Dan
So
Moore's got the same disease. I get it.
maybe they both just need to find the best drawing of Superman's head and just kind of stick with that. Just keep looking at it. Whether it's a
Yeah.
Kurt Swan and just do your take on a Kurt Swan Superman head. Listen,
Kurt
nobody did
Swan,
Superman's face
Murphy
is better than
Anderson.
Kurt Swan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Swanderson.
Kurt
That's what he used to be called,
Schoppenbacher. You
right?
know.
Good
Yeah,
old
that's right.
Swanderson.
Swanderson. Yeah.
That was the first mixed names I think I heard of
First
before all the
first amalgam name. Amalgam.
yes. They
Right.
shipped the first shipping name.
The first shipped name. Benifer.
Bennifer. That's right.
Let me switch out. I got to switch out the reviews. So we got to switch to the other reviews real fast. Let me do that.
What's your Kirby thing from? Is that from like Lord of Light or
I
just
think
a art thing he drew?
I think this is when it wasn't like NFL, but he had some
Oh, yes,
some
I see the
project.
football. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see
there's
it.
the football, the space football.
There you go. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Go
We are
Birds.
go Birds, everyone.
We didn't
We're
get through
we're in
the
the South.
meeting. Yeah, the
What?
meeting we had this week, this like the sales meeting on Friday, like we're supposed to go over numbers and all we did was give scores, the score for the Eagles game today. Go Birds.
We
Um,
we're not particularly sports people. We don't hate it. We enjoy
yeah,
it when it
but
gets good, and it's getting good. But all our friends are like ridiculous.
they're
And
yeah,
South Jersey is just Eagles fever today. So
you can't
today
right,
meaning
so
Sunday a couple days ago. So we are either headed towards Super Bowl or we are not.
either way, Philadelphia gets destroyed tonight. Either way, crime will happen.
Remember, they greased the telephone poles last time because the time before when we got in the championship, like people were like climbing the telephone poles in Philly and
Falling,
people,
hurting, and then
yes,
probably
yeah.
suing. It's so goofy. Yeah. Yeah, the greasing of the poles sounds dirty. So, Absolute Wonder Woman 4, another wonderful Hayden Sherman, a little slower. This was the I forget her name. God, I just had it in my brain. It's gone. So I didn't put a lot of variants in this week because it was hard to it's hard to find where the variants are. I feel like the file folders that when they used to go out for Diamond, they used to have all these high res everything. The
Listen,
previous world doesn't carry that
Midtowns are
anymore.
pretty good. Just call
Sometimes,
Midtown.
yeah, I tried sometimes. Some of them are not all of them are there. Not all of them.
I used to Previews World used to have a lot, but I don't know if they're going to stay such high quality. I don't. We don't know what's going on with Diamond moving forward.
Yeah. But
We
Hayden Sherman
we
had its own. his own variant too, an extra variant. Maybe this was a cover he drew, and they're like, nah, but we'll keep it.
Doesn't fit the story. They're like, hey, you know what though? But it's an extra drawing, so
Yeah.
yeah. Heartfelt. This page is like really good. It's like she's going out, like
Etta
nobody can
Candy.
hear. Yeah, Etta Candy. This is a world. I mean, Wonder Woman enacted a spell to where nobody can hear because the sounds this creature puts out makes you go crazy.
Mhm.
So
Right.
she made a spell to make everyone in the city like deaf until she comes to this house and puts like a spell within a spell so they can hear.
Right, right. So it's pretty steeped in a lot of like almost like dark magic. And what's kind of neat about it is that her arm got ripped off by the monster behind her, and then so she has this Furious arm.
But that was
Um,
her fake arm to begin with. She
yeah,
sacrificed
right.
her own arm to save
To
Trevor,
bring Steve Trevor back
Steve Trevor
to
back. So
regular
she got, yeah. So yeah,
Furiosa arm. Unfortunately, the let me say I might have to skip through because I think that these pages got mixed around a little bit. Let me jump back here. I'll put something here so you don't see all these pages, and I'll go back. Ta-da-pa-pa-pa. There we go.
there we go.
Again, if there's magic, there must be a giant sword. There has to be. And I know you, like you said on the previous review for Justice League, it just has to be. If you're fighting magic, you got a big sword. What's kind of cool about this big sword is that this big sword is, I don't know, I guess I don't put it in there. That big sword is super, super big because then it defeats or cuts that thingy in half.
Did you not put that
So
page in?
I don't know. Well, I was acting up when I was doing my screenshots. So, but this was also a pretty inventive page. Probably more in your milieu of like you don't have to draw her getting six things out of a apothecary chest,
Hmm.
right? But we'll take it. We'll take it.
They drew it.
Is
The
Gia
drawers
Candy? Uh,
established. I don't know.
I don't know. So this is Etta Candy's sister. So, um, but yeah. So we're doing some spells and potions and witchcraft and magic. Pretty great. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty great stuff. Yeah, I guess I did not. All right, so let's jump back. Other than that
spiraling back.
is spiraling back.
So
It's
anyway,
funny. So,
The book ends
mhm,
incredibly. The sword becomes massive, like
mhm.
the size of a city bus to fight off that kaiju style
Yeah, it just
Cthulhu
kind of cuts a huge.
magical demon creature,
Yeah,
and cuts them in a way where like you could see the innards still like haven't had a chance to fall out yet, or to DC quote it, plop. They
the
haven't
plot.
plopped out yet. They used to do that sound every story in plop. Like if something fell, I go plop.
That's good. It's consistent. It's
I think,
consistent.
and I think it actually plop was such a popular book. I don't know if the sales were always there, but people loved it. So that plop sound would go into other DC comics. Plop, kerplop,
Oh,
plopped.
really?
Yeah, you would
That's
just see
funny.
it in like a Batman or a Superman.
That's funny. Speaking of
Or
Batman,
speaking of,
Batman Detective Comics 1093, Tom Taylor, Mikel Janin. Um, Great issue. A lot of great artwork here. This was the variant cover, which is weird because so again, when Fresh Comics had this variant cover, right,
right?
which has like I guess I'll put it on the bigger. It has his eyes there, and then what
And
was
his
printed is
ear.
just white.
Oh, look at that. That's
Oh,
that's better.
this is better,
Yeah. The
more
like I
impactful.
don't like seeing his ears. His costume isn't that tight where you could see
Oh
those.
yeah, I didn't even notice the ears were. I
Oh,
guess it
stupid.
was a correction. Oh,
That's a correction.
eyes and ears. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Um, now I don't like when a new character is introduced. This is the Tommy Elliott situation, right? If a new
Right.
character is introduced, they have to be some part of like Bruce Wayne's childhood, and I also don't like making me think about another thing. So when I see this, I think of the Joker movie, right? You got Bruce hanging
Yes.
out by the gate. I just don't love it. I don't love it. So and then yeah, so you got to have this is the person, and I don't know. I guess you would like okay. So if you had a childhood, I mean, were maybe they weren't friends after this, but is this person friends with Bruce at school or anything, or not really? It's just that in this introduction is probably it, right? I
Right.
guess if I'm working with this person taking my blood later on in life, doesn't she have? Well, she has his blood, I guess, right? Because she was giving him like the weird venom stuff,
Yeah.
which was not part of this comic at all. So I also don't know if it was necessary to be in there anyway. Um, so I don't know. I just don't love that. Now, I'm of two minds of this stuff. I'm of two minds of having the extra people, right? Because you got Red Hood, you got
Right.
Spoiler, and that's which Robin's that?
Tim Drake.
That's Tim Drake Robin, right?
That's one of our Robins.
Yeah. And you got so basically you just don't have Nightwing here, right? So you got Luke Fox. Luke
Right.
Fox?
Probably.
Uh I'm never adopting. I wish Oracle was Oracle. I wish she wouldn't just happen to
Well, a wheelchair
happen
would
have
barely fit on
just
top of a basketball court.
just I don't think she should ever have been out of the wheelchair. No offense. I just think it's I don't know.
No, I
And
think it should be a special occasion type of thing where she takes something that can do it, but for like a little while, but like she like it can't like I like the idea of her being back row. Like it's fine.
no.
Like, it's funny because Killing Joke wasn't even meant to be in continuity, but it was in continuity, you know. It's
To me,
fine.
it's in continuity and it never was reversed. I feel like she should
But
be.
Mark,
That's it.
it's the new
Never
52.
reversed.
Everything's changed. It's new 52, but it's back. You know what's funny? Because it's back. Like they put something. Listen, they're trying to fix people's spines in the real world. There's real world applications here, but like
You're not going
she
to be
should be
able
able
to
to
get
walk.
on that basketball net. I don't think you'd be able to do it. If you have a
Even
fused
peak
spine.
humans can't really. It's not really easy to get up there.
You know, I have an icy hot patch on my back right now. You
Yeah,
know,
I hurt my back. I hurt my back. I don't know. I was just sitting here, like, oh,
just now.
just now. Like,
Um,
it's funny. I do so much stuff at work. I should be like a mess. I should be
yeah,
like Bruce Wayne in a Dark Knight Rises. But I'm not. But then if I'm home for too long, that's when my body starts aching. Doing the work, doing 20,000 steps a day, in and out of the truck, lifting
doing
150
the
pound
work.
packages, that I can do. Sitting down for too long, yeah,
No, I know. I gotta sit here and I gotta sit there, then here, all the time. And that I think is
it's
the
Damien.
Roger Cruz
Yeah,
armor. Well, it's the probably the Gleb Melnikov armor. I don't think that's really changed too much. I can't really tell if that's just the buckle or he actually has a D on there. It's like I'm Robin, but I'm Damien Robin, so I can't really tell if that's
oh,
the
that's
thing or
funny.
not. So, I like how heavy this Batman is. So what I mean by that, like you could feel how the weight of this Batman. I don't really feel that weight when I look at the Dan Mora Batman. Still a great Batman, but here I really feel like he's 300 pounds, right?
Yeah,
What I do like about this is that we don't normally see Batman with someone that is larger than him, right? So I think this drawing at the bottom here is pretty fantastic because look how massive
that
this dude
that dude is
is.
bigger than the door behind him. He's got a duck to get out.
Possible, yeah, it's possible, but like it's really, you know, it's
Actually, the
really
door.
really cool.
He's actually changing sizes because the first panel he can fit in the door.
Yeah, he's
See,
crouching. Yeah. That's okay.
that's okay.
Maybe he's like the Hulk.
It's cool because that panel looks cool.
I
And
pulled this page because I
he's
don't
block he's
remember.
Blockbuster's brother.
Is that true?
No,
I don't think that's true. But yes, Blockbuster was always kind of an insane looking thing. I don't know if I've seen Whispers. I love it. I think it's really good. Why wouldn't there be Whispers? I think it's pretty funny. So Tim, I guess everyone, all the Robins, Tim, Damien, and Jason are all like whispering to Batman, which I think is pretty funny. I just don't know if I've seen that of late. That I feel like that was 90s ish with the dots around. You know, good times.
I dig it. I dig it all. I think it's cool he's working with all these Robins. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm Batman. Like, go out and spread my message. Just like the end of Dark Knight Returns, when he's got all the mutants now under his control. It's like, yeah, he should have like an army. I mean, it's always the weird thing of that they're all kids, but they're
yeah.
older kids.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Batman. Um, so yeah, I'm just really into even the color. I mean, look, you have this is the other thing too is I don't know. I mean, Dan Moore doesn't do the coloring, but I mean the fact is Mikel Janin doing everything up and down the
yeah,
pencil things colors. That's insane. That's insane,
he's a
especially and
true
have that
artist.
color theory as well here to have some of the like the little blue splotches in there. Just really, really
He's
crazy.
he's not
Really, really good.
he's not rushing it out, dude. He's taking his
It's
time.
monthly. I know, but it's still a monthly book, man. There's got to be a fill-in one or two coming. As long as this storyline can finish out. I
You're
hate it
right.
when
We
there's a
don't
killing when
know.
it's in.
Yeah, we don't know how long he's been doing this beforehand.
Yeah.
We don't know how much lead up time these two had.
Yeah, that's the one unique thing in creative work is that basically we don't know. Like we know if we're working, we make money, right? We take a vacation day, we don't make money, or we have PTO. Like you know what I mean? Like
Right.
if we
We have vacation days or
it's a
optional days
momentum,
or
right? I work commission, so if I take a week or two off, it's not great. I know that I'll make less money in 2 months from now. Like I'm like, oh man,
yes, yeah,
but I have to take off because things are too difficult.
because it's life.
Yeah.
Also, yeah,
So
you need days where you can talk about comics for 8 hours instead of talking to people about
correct.
mortgages.
Now listen, I'm still super behind on Void Rivals, so I just kind of grabbed a couple of pages that seemed relevant to me
That's fine.
here.
I'll try to stay
Um,
spoiler free for you,
no way. Spoilers right off. You got
dude.
this.
Cobra La.
Come on, man. Cobra La.
Hopefully
Cobra La
everyone's
La La
read.
La La La
And I
La.
got to tell Milligan, Milligan hasn't caught up on his GI Joe. Like,
Mm,
just stick with the GI Joe people. Like, if you're reading Transformers, Void Rivals, read GI Joe. It's
yeah.
not that hard, and they all flow together very well. And they're all good books. You know, and we'll talk
Yeah,
about
I've
it
no
later.
doubt. Yeah, I've no doubt that this looks really good. And then, so who is this?
What an ending. Uh, what do they call her? Zerta Tryon, right? Zerta Tryon,
Mhm.
which is an interesting new name because normally it's I don't think they've used Tryon as a last name for any Transformers. Like obviously there's been a lot of Primes or Supremes, and
Right.
this is a
Alphatron.
Tryon. Alpha Tryon's
Right.
who we know. And they
Yeah.
had a Vector Sigma. Did they call it Vector Tryon or Zerta? I forget what they called it.
Mhm.
Zerta Sigma. They had a
Zerta.
Vector Sigma type. So this is cool. This is a really good page because she's walking in the dark. She finds like a mountain to climb up. She's just it's like, oh, is this a wall? Is this a thing? And then she gets to
Mhm.
the end and it's like, oh, you're basically climbing over a huge transformer.
Right, right, right. And the I Still Function is a callback to Transformers the movie.
That's right. Where they were gonna dump Megatron in space because they're like he was close to
They
being
did
dead.
dump. Yeah.
They did dump him.
Starscream
Great
dumps
scene.
him.
Starscream's a bit.
I
He's a mean
Still
bitch, dude.
Function. Wanna bet?
Yeah.
Right? Wanna bet?
Wanna bet? Yeah, I can't do Starscream. Milligan's not bad.
Oh yeah, he's probably out of all the Starscream impressions, Billigan is hands down the number one. So
Yeah.
so here we go. This is the fifth or sixth part of the brand new writer Joe. Oh no! So Joe
Not
Kelly so
Joe.
far has written two out of like 5 or 6 issues of this so far. Cool.
Something. He's done 2 out of 8 deaths.
Not it's
So,
listen,
by the way, go back to the cover. It's cool. We love Mark Bagley coming back, inking himself, being
inking
color by
himself. Yeah,
Eisenhoff.
it's funny. It's like
It's
not that I didn't think he couldn't ink himself, but he never inked himself. So
he's
it's
too
not as
busy.
if yeah.
You know why? Because inking takes more time than penciling for him. Art T. Bear would rather ink than pencil because he's a super slow penciler. But Bagley's a fast penciler. So maybe he's a slow inker. So maybe in Bagley's head, he does the math. He's like, I can pencil 2 pages and the time it takes me to pencil and ink a page.
Right.
And penciling pays more. And that's the math.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but now that he's retired, he's like, I can just be my true artist self and do both, you know? And I think that's awesome. Um,
I I can't figure this story. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do a storyline anymore. The only thing I liked in this whole issue is I don't care about any of these Sidorak people or relatives or brothers and sisters and dads, and I just it was exhausting. I don't care. I do like some of the human moments in it. I think I put this one in because I feel like has been I feel like this person's watching the same like self-help videos I'm watching and stuff because I think that's funny. They're just saying pain is inevitable, suffering is optional because that's a choice, right? It's a
it's a
choice.
choice.
It's a
You
specific
you
choice.
shouldn't worry about the future. You shouldn't worry about the past. You should just be present. And that's true. I worry about the future all the time, and I wish
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't. And sometimes I regret the past, and I'm like, I got to get out of that moment. That's a different moment. I'm not there. I can't do anything. I
yeah.
can't change it.
I feel like everything is it. I feel like over the last 2 years of my life, everything's just a culmination of where I am right now.
It's
If
true.
this
That's the
didn't
way you got to
happen,
think
if
about it.
that didn't happen, if I didn't do that, if I didn't make that decision, I'm happy I didn't make that decision. I'm okay I didn't make a decision because I feel like it all kind of had to go a certain way that I'm in right now.
Oh yeah. But what?
2025 is I'm all just like mindset it up to
That's right.
go a certain way. I love it. I love
2020,
2025.
2025, it's time to thrive.
It's also kind of funny, like just being on all the, some of the socials. I'm on the Instagram, but like how many real, I mean, how much do you see already? And Walt shares them all the time that 2025 is a dumpster fire, right? Every fifth or sixth one, and I just don't, I don't know, like I think it's funny. I
It's
see that, and I'm like, you're deciding it. They're showing like the clip of what's his name, the thing where where Kurt Russell's sitting, he's like, it's only been so many days and everything sucks, like so
listen,
there's
it's
so many videos of
they're
that right
not
now.
wrong. There's a lot of things to worry about, but like the stuff we can do about it seems almost impossible to do.
Right, you gotta control your
So
controllables. That's it. You have to
yeah,
protect
protect your
yourself.
house,
You have to
protect
budget.
yourself, protect your
Yeah,
family. What goes on outside your family,
protect your
you
neck.
want the best.
Protect your
Yeah,
neck, bro. Go
that's
birds.
right.
um it's a lot of Philadelphia,
So
not Philadelphia stuff.
yeah,
CBS.
um,
Is that a CBS plug? Can you write CBS? I guess you can.
I
You can put
guess
pharmacy there. I think editor should say pharmacy there.
is
That's
that the
okay.
Atari symbol?
That's what I thought. I looked at that as a Atari symbol, and they have an internet bar. I have tonight. The Tonight Show's right there. Seems odd.
Is that where it's filmed?
I
New
don't
York,
know.
man.
The internet bar?
That's
No,
a good
it's
bar.
filmed in 30 Rock. Um, I like so the designs. This is Andrea Brancato, or Brocado. I think it's Andrea, but I don't know if it's a guy or girl. Doesn't matter. Um, even though there's only two genders, by the way. Uh, topical.
Oof. Yeah.
Topical. And again, we talked about this. I think it was last week where it was 66 point death or whatever point deaths.
Right.
Do we really think? Look, in the digital age where there's cameras everywhere, I just don't think that Peter Parker is depressed, hanging out inside of a building all the time, eating pizza.
His spider sense would alert him to
I don't know,
cameras.
man. Drones? There's drones over
Drones.
my house right now. We're in
Kids.
Jersey, baby.
Kids across that cat could have a drone above the air conditioner.
I look. Oh yeah,
Also,
careful.
last week he had to take his shoes off to cling to the wall. Now this
That's
week he
right.
has his shoes on.
The continuity's no good. The continuity's no good. It's
But
weird
there
to it
is,
almost feels like two different artists because like this artist with the soft faces, the non-defined,
yeah.
this was almost like a slight like Ringo. What the heck was that other guy that dude?
And listen, I am totally down with Black Cat. Like,
Sure.
if you can't have Mary Jane, it's Black Cat all the way for me.
Yeah, that's fine. But I do like that. Look, I just
It
like
feels
the
like he was looking
design.
at a Salvador LaRocca drawing. This feels like that's what they're going for. Is that a weird? Like,
Yeah,
can you picture
it's
Salvador LaRocca, Juggernaut, Psylocke?
no, that's right. Yeah, I would say, I mean, I feel like what I do like about it, I thought about this when I first saw it. I said, okay, so we have a little bit of different eras, right? Because this is the Jason Aaron era. That's the Morrison. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know exactly when this magic is. This the Chris Yost magic?
Yeah, the Scotty
Does that
Young.
sound right? Right, Scotty Young magic. Scotty
And
Young,
what's
Chris
she holding there,
Yost.
Mark? Let's bring this show together.
Giant sword, baby. 3 for 3 is the third one, right? Yeah, because you had
Right.
one Absolute Wonder Woman. You Thom. I still have to put an editor's note in who that person is. That I doubt that's the first appearance, but But again, good on Wade for just pulling in. It's like, okay, magic people. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. He must have like a pretty good like not rolled it a file folder, like a file
Oh
of
yeah,
facts. Just open it up and be like
he's got his,
magic people, right?
he's got yeah. I'm sure he's got spreadsheets or he's just got like things hung on his. He probably has like a whiteboard for a wall.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
if I were a real writer and not the fake writer that I am, just give me a whiteboard that's as big as a wall and just all the time look
Just
like
get
a
the
crazy
chalkboard.
conspiracy
Get
theorist.
chalkboard paint, man. Chalkboard paint, just one
That's
giant
true.
wall.
That's true. Oh, well, your
One
girl's got
giant.
that, right?
Yeah, it's the coolest. Yeah,
Going back a
it's the
page.
coolest.
Do you ever hear the story? Take a shot, everyone. Where one of the stories Liefeld was heading towards the X Force Cable's going to start waking up having these dreams of like hell and fire, and Cable's going to be like, we have to go save Ileana. So the next X Force story after Executioner Song was going to be X Force going into hell to save Magic, and then because you remember in that New Mutants annual, Ileana, Magic, Darkchild, whatever you
Oh,
want to
that's
call
right.
her, is on the X
Dark
Force sheet.
Child.
Darkchild. Yeah. So that
Pre
would
Randy
have.
Green.
And when Liefeld came back to do X Force Volume 2, the miniseries that came out in like 2004, 5, whatever,
Mhm.
the follow-up miniseries was going to be, hey, I want to do this X-Force story I created back in the 90s. Let's do it now. And they said, nope.
Nope.
Also in the 90s. So it's going to be that. We talked about Prophet the Assassin. It was going to be an
Mhm.
X-Force. And Major X was a 90s idea.
Major
Isn't that
X.
crazy? Major X was a 90s idea.
He didn't take it to really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. He didn't
You
take it
know,
to the Image.
well, Image would have been like, oh, an X character? They should have called it Major Y.
Major Youngblood.
Oh, I mean, we did get the Extreme. I almost called him Extreme Warrior. What the hell is that dude's name? Remember he showed up around Extreme Prejudice? I feel like it wasn't the Extreme Warrior, but it was something almost like that.
Extreme Warrior. So, uh-oh. We
Now
gotta
I got to
keep
find
moving.
one.
Keep
Keep moving,
moving,
Mark.
baby.
Move right
Here we
along.
go. Mystique,
Mystique.
Declan Shalvey. This is
That's a
just an
really,
excuse for, and he
really
said
good
this in an
cover.
interview.
Yeah.
I'm not making this up. He basically is like, I just want to draw a bunch of different X-Men.
Yes, I heard him say
So
that when he said, and he said Sabretooth. Did he say Cable?
no, but I love this. So basically, and actually, what's cool about this book is, and it did it a little bit last issue. The second issue did it quite a bit. Things moved around so much in this issue where I was confused, and then at the end, I'm like, oh, okay. And then when I go back, so okay, so here, this Maverick is
Right.
Maverick, right? All right.
Correct. I believe so.
And then he's fighting Nick Fury.
Doesn't look like that looks like Joe Madureira, Juggernaut, when he was drawing them
Yeah,
that
I
one
love
issue.
this. And I
Maybe it's
also
the
I
coloring.
also zoomed in on this because I love like to see mid transformation. It
Really
almost
cool.
reminds me of the Danny Warren Johnson when he was half transforming the Transformers in between panels. They're just like this. Or like
Yeah.
Bear the Optimus one I think is the funniest. But oh, so here's what I figured out. So the Nick Fury in the beginning that's being taken down, I think that Maverick is not Maverick. I think that's Mystique. That's real Nick Fury. Because, and here's where I see this wide. So I think this is it. Because it's the same, he's throwing like the same type of like cylinder. So I think this is Mystique. I think.
Okay.
And then this is when she gets and switches with Nick Fury. Okay. And because again, so this cable page is like 6 or 7 pages later. And actually I didn't see, let me see if it tells what time that is. 12:05. I don't know what time that was. I think this was like 10 in the morning. And then this 12:05. And then cable is 3 o'clock. So this is not cable. That's Mystique Cable, but that's why I think that's it. I think that's when she switched Nick Fury and hid Nick Fury. Okay, because of that cylinder.
Okay.
Awesome, great cable, great page, wonderful page. I find it funny, and then you start noticing that the coloring of the eyes are the giveaway, right?
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
I don't feel has been done in the other issues per se. I also don't know why. Um, I already talked about this multiple times. They just really need to take. I know they won't. I don't think they're. I wonder if there's enough of a Declan Shalvey situation where you can have a Declan Shalvey like omnibus. I guess not, but like
He
it's
is putting together quite the.
his
He's
Moon Knight run is very important. It's very important. Um, the Nick Fury story he did for Civil War choosing sides. I'm the fan. I'm the fan of that. I mean, I'm sure he's a fan of it because he's you literally continuing that storyline into this storyline. But I just
right.
think it's such a wasted opportunity that you have that trade coming out. That's just Marvel shitting out their trade for 17.99, 5 issues. Yeah, come
Yeah.
on, man. And I mean, it still would have been like another. It's probably another almost like 2.5 issues of book because it was 5 issues and it was about half a book. I don't know. It's all right. But look, mid transformation there. I do find it also strange that it's different. I think this is Matt Wilson coloring. His wife's Jordi Belair, arguably the best colorist in comics. Awestruck
Yep.
approved.
No
But maybe they
arguments.
don't. Maybe they don't work on each other. Yeah, they don't. No arguments. Or maybe that might be it. Yeah, that could be it. I think they did do one interview years ago together on like Word Balloon or something. They both were on, so that was good. But yeah, this was the best Marvel book. It's the most consistent Marvel book. I only have one more issue left. Because every other Marvel book is just really chaotic. This the pacing on 13 for Ultimate Spider-Man 13 was weird. I do love Chiquetto. This is a great Spider-Man slash Venomish thing. Um, and I don't know. It's there's so many pages. I cut them out. There's so many pages of Mole Man and Craven just talking with Mysterio. It's like
This is the
seven or eight
talkie book.
pages. It's like 7 or 8 If you have this book comes out, and this is encompassing 1 month. So this is January, right? This the hook of this book in a way. So January, but you're only seeing like 20 minutes on a rooftop, right?
Yeah,
And this is like one. This is like half a. It doesn't, I don't know. There's no point whether it be an entire month. There's no progression of time in this. This mean so then it's going to pick up a month from now. I don't know. And also, it's really weird. Why are you going to grab a velociraptor like that? It seems really bad. It's a bad idea. You're
it
bleeding
seems
right
like
off.
don't grab their teeth.
Don't grab their teeth. And also, can we just get away from
Let me.
every trope? Why do we think this is a real thing?
What?
The dinosaur sense motion or the like. I hate hands up and dinosaurs. I hate it. The don't move. Like it's a Jurassic Park staple, whatever. It's a trope. It's so bad. And why do we even think that's the case? Do
It
birds
could
not
be.
see people?
What it could be, Mark, is the fact that if you move, they think you're running away, so they're going to go after you quicker. But if you
I
stand
guess.
still, they're still eyeing up the situation, and they might not attack you as quickly.
I also don't know if this is two of them or if the second drawing is a detail
I
of
think
the
a
drawing
second,
ahead.
yes, that's the way I picture it.
I know, but it's confusing. I don't know. And
It
I
is
like
confusing
Chiquetto.
because the way it looks like two, the way it confused you, it probably would
Yeah.
confuse a lot of fans, and
Confused.
it spoils the idea that there's more of them the next page.
Yes.
Because right
So,
now you're like, oh, is there two? Like, no, we don't know that yet. We're not supposed to know that yet.
yeah. Chiquetto
Look at that
doing kind of
CD.
a,
Look at that CD slicing it like
yeah.
I come in peace.
It's all the old AOL inserts. That's
That's
where
true.
this
There's a lot of them. How many issues of Wizard come with an AOL insert disc like a you know?
uh so Chiquetto did this in the Daredevil book with Electra's hair. I love this. And the reason I think this he's using one of the art I use this one art app called um Paper 53. They actually have their own different. So I have an iPad pencil, but then I also have like they have their own like sketch one which has like a different nib. So it's actually I actually use both of them when I'm drawing on my iPads. But I love like this is what I mean is I feel like this is the calligraphy pen with the weight that or you could probably do it also in Procreate. Most artists are drawing in Procreate for the most part. But I love it. I love it. Just think it's really, really cool. And then she mentions that this is Black Cat, but it's Black Cat was my dad. So okay, different Black Cat.
Well, yeah,
Black.
rather than call him the Black Fox, which they did in the cartoon, right? In the cartoon, they made the Black
Oh
Fox their
yeah,
father.
right. Yeah, yeah.
So
So
they've showed the Black Cat like her dad,
I think so.
right?
I don't
And
know.
did he get killed? Right?
I think so. I think there's a. Did Spider-Man almost kill him?
Maybe,
All right.
but it's not
So
Spider-Man's fault.
it's never Spider-Man's fault.
No. Um,
That's the point.
I like this issue better. This Wolverine the Revenge.
No,
I thought this.
I hate it. I
You
hate it.
hate it? I liked it.
Yes.
That's fine.
Look,
Trope.
everything has been done. Every
This is
single
a
thing.
this is a hardcore
This is
trope
seven
beginning.
tropes.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Old Man
Oh
Logan,
no,
they
this whole
did.
thing's trope.
There's 50 issues of Old Man Logan.
There
There's
is.
7 or 8, and then I think there's literally 50, I think there's literally 50 issues. I want to say that Lemire did 25 issues, and I want to say Ed Brisson did the last 25. I want to say there's 50 issues of that. There's 7 or 8 issues, 7 plus
Oh, the Miller's
uh,
Run
of Miller's Run. Yeah.
of
I don't
Miller's
know.
Crossing.
I feel like everything is almost like almost a concept, right? All right, so you have a saloon, right?
Right.
But then like you have Valcap, you have YMCA Winter Soldier, all
I
right?
don't think so. I think they're just. Didn't Winter
They're just
Soldier get
dressed
killed?
up.
No, I think
I
these
don't
are the
know.
parts that are left over because they all got killed. So there's no reason Wolverine would leave those stuff behind. Danny Moonstar and the Demon Bear. Okay, that's cool. That's actually cool.
Yeah.
I feel like here's why would you let Winter Soldiers maybe adamantium arm be left behind. Well, don't leave Cap shield behind. He went back and got it. I like
Right.
that the costume is a mix of the original Dave Cockrum, but like the John Byrne
Yeah,
Brown as well.
I just feel like
Like
it should be different. I just don't know if you walk around like this. And also,
I think he's really
why
walking around like that because he's on a mission.
he has a lantern, but here's the problem: is you literally had a book, Greg Capullo, where you had a dude
Right.
walk around with a lantern, same arm. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're literally ripping off yourself here. I don't know, man. I'm telling you, every single piece of
It's
this
yeah, okay.
is something else, right? You have
So in
Sabretooth
this,
with one arm, which could be, one arm, one eye,
yeah,
flying purple
he
people
has no
eater.
healing factor, and he let him live in this horrible, painful situation. It's a
Right.
dick move. In fact, I think it's actually more cruel than Wolverine would actually do.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's a more Sabertoothy thing to do. So, but maybe he's getting like weirder in the old age. I don't really know. I just hate it. And I also dislike that if you have kids in this boring continuity, your kids are basically your powered kids and they're the same. So
Well,
that dude back
they're less.
there,
They're less. Well, the dude in the background is the only kid. The other three, I think, are just weird clones.
they're clones, right? Yeah, but it's just like it's not original. I do like
And
the blarf here. I think
I
that's
have an
funny.
opinion on Wolverine that I feel like Wolverine can age if he doesn't stay active. But I think the more active Wolverine is, the younger he looks. And who gave me this idea was Miller unintentionally, because in Old Man Logan, he's old, but you feel like he's been living that solitary family life where
Yeah.
he hasn't had to be Wolverine. But I feel like
Hmm.
once he becomes Wolverine and starts moving and fighting and getting hurt, I think that's when he heals and stays younger. Because after Old Man Logan, Miller did the Fantastic Four run. And at one point, a new Fantastic Four show up from 500 years in the future. And it's Bruce Banner Hulk, but it's not Bruce Banner, it's Bruce's son from Old Man Logan.
All
But
right.
it's also Wolverine, and he looks really young. He's like the hooded man or something. He takes the hood off, Wolverine, big surprise. But he's young again. I'm like, oh, but this is 500 years in the future. But Old Man Logan was only like 30 years in the future, 40 years in the
Right.
future.
Let's say it's 20 years in the future. Yeah. It's
Right. So I don't
not
think
quite old
Wolverine,
man Logan.
yeah. So I don't think he gets, because Days of Future Past is only 20 years in the future, and he just had like white temples.
Right. Right.
So I don't know. It's a fan theory, but it's a fan theory I think should hold through. Like this guy should actually start de aging the next issue if anyone actually want to think about it. Because Sabretooth looks younger than Wolverine. Look at and Sabretooth's older.
I think everything about
And
this is lazy.
and
I think
Sabretooth
everything else is just
can't heal.
rough.
So why doesn't Sabretooth look like an old man? Wolverine with a healing factor is aging more than Sabretooth without a healing factor. Just saying, think before you do things.
No one's thinking on this book, man.
And
I'm telling you,
Colossus looks like Adam Polina's Chromium Man.
it's so he looks too young. It's like 17-year-old Colossus. Like it's just how am I going to
He's
think
20.
this guy's
He's 20.
born? It's I just hate it.
If
I hate it
if
all.
it's been 20 years, he's 20ish.
Look, if you're going to do things, this is what I'm thinking. As much as I didn't really like this issue of Uncanny X-Men either, I at least kind of care about some of these characters. I'm surprised that. So how many issues we have? 9? All right.
Yeah.
I kind of know all these characters now, and I didn't think I would like them. And every issue, I'm like, I don't want this around. I don't know if I really dig. Like, I don't know. I feel like Wolverine would be tired of saying the same thing to whoever he's the mentoring at the time, right? Um, I think he should be a little bit more reluctant, but that's more of how Gail Simone's writing them. That being said, I do think that everyone and there was a couple in jokes. There was a couple Gambit in jokes that they keep doing, which I think are pretty
Oh,
funny.
yeah. They named the beer like Brisson Stout. And it's like,
Yeah,
okay.
no, not even that. Like just yeah, well, that's right because he wanted a certain beer, and then what's his name, Nightwing, geez, Nightcrawler.
Yeah. He's
Um,
like, it's a German. It's like a really weird in beer conversation. And I'm for it because I know some beer stuff, but like,
you had beer yesterday. You had stouts yesterday, right?
I did.
Stouts,
I'm a
stout day,
stout man drinking a stout beer.
stout day yesterday.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, I was happy that Briston drew this issue.
look, they go to the mall.
That's a trope.
It's a trope. X-Men go to the mall, everybody. You got to be careful with that trope, though, because
And we
sometimes
got
when they go to the mall, you got to cancel that book. You got to get it roughed and canceled, but then you get somebody on there turning around. You know what I mean? Get it on there.
and we got Sentinel Ravages.
Yeah, to me, yeah, they're a little, yeah, I don't know. They're okay. That's okay. But
Um,
but that's the thing is, as the last half of this book are just the new characters, and I didn't really mind it. I was pretty okay with it. So that
right.
was a little more surprising than I thought, and kind of a tough ending because this is one of the more endearing characters, Snow
Yeah,
here. So we'll see. She's not dead. No way, man. I don't know. I don't think they're doing that, but I don't see
we'll
how.
see.
I don't know
We'll
how.
see. That's
Oh,
fine.
can't Rogue go in there and just like touch her and get all the bad stuff out or something? I don't know.
Don't
Forget how
know.
Rogue's powers work. You know. Here we go.
Yay!
Jaboy.
This was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Jaboy. I
First off,
thought
this
this was four
cover.
issues, right? Wasn't it
So
four issues?
I thought it was longer too. First off,
That's what
Dracula
she said.
looks like adult Batboy. Do you remember Batboy would be on the Weekly World
Oh yeah.
News
Yep.
for like years? That's the way Dracula looks on the cover.
Yeah, I want to read all this together because I think this would be a real hoot. Oh, that one didn't really hold there. What happened there? It must be just turning it. Um, yeah, so this is kind of coming off. We just saw Nosferatu, so this kind of
It's
reminded
such a
me.
weird, simple style. Like I don't know. It's just so un-Tom Scully the way he's drawing these people, and I guess he's drawing them like we said, like a pulp, like a
Hmm.
newspaper pre-comics, pre-Kirby, almost Joe Simony at times. That's funny. Come to think of it, Dracula's
Yeah,
amazing looking. So weird.
yeah, I love the G-Force is the Great Gatsby. You're having the Great Gatsby and the Great Gatsby. G-Force is just so funny.
Yes,
It's so nuts. Yeah, this book is just insane. But yeah, you're right. Like the coloring on everything, the use of we know he uses a lot of I think he's in Procreate mostly, but I know he's using there. So it's I do like the different styles of it. I like the like I mean everything is him up and down,
I love
period.
Sherlock. Now that he's a vampire, he doesn't show up in the mirror right before he reveals himself. As a vampire.
Oh yeah.
See
I
the
didn't,
third panel down.
yeah. I don't think I noticed that the first time I read it. I was just looking at it. But yeah, it's the whole thing is really insane. And his Godzilla is like super fun. I do like
Great
everyone
scene. That's
riding
a
their
great looking drawing.
motorcycles. Yeah,
So funny.
there's amazing charm of it, dude. This is so ridiculous. And then you're gonna do a
This is
cutaway of a
he does
castle. Like, come on.
he does something like this in the American Barbarian hardcover. Well worth getting,
Yeah.
everyone. American Barbarian might be Tom Scully at his. That's in the top five Scully books.
And then you gotta have Jules Verne in a Orion flying machine or Captain Victory, either one. It's
Yeah.
basically the Orion's son anyway, so that's all
Yes.
good. But yeah, all
Super
this is
cool.
like
Freeze
insane.
Ray.
Yeah, there's also like kind of a different texture
He gets a
he's
ring
drawing
called
Godzilla
the
too.
square cube ring, and the square cube law is the idea of science where you actually can't have oversized animals because the weight of their innards would be stronger than the weight of their skin holding their stuff together. You know, like whales can only exist because they're in water.
Oh, I see.
But then like that's like oh a real King Kong couldn't exist. Their stuff would just spill out. But like you had
Oh my
dinosaurs that were
God.
bigger, so it's just
This is
funny.
a real thing.
Square cube law, yeah,
Yeah. Oh my
yeah,
God.
it's a real thing. But like, and at this point where you see the Wolfman becoming huge, fighting Godzilla, it's almost like the video game Primal. Yeah, remember Primal?
Oh yeah. Primal Rage, Primal Beast.
Primal Rage, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. It's a
What was the
very
other one?
curvy.
Killer Instinct. There was a lot of fun fighting games that ripped off Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's a very curvy left panel there.
That is the first appearance of Kirby in this book until you get to this.
Look at this,
You've
dude.
become the Great Gatsby.
That's so dumb. It's so ridiculous.
I love it.
Yeah.
Look at that page. You giant mummy, giant Dracula, giant Frankenstein, giant Wolfman.
Giant Frankenstein tracks. There actually is Frankenstein. I think you can go on internetarchive.org or whatever and watch them. They're insane. It's literally it's a Godzilla, but he's Frankenstein big. Basically, it's a kaiju. It's giant Frankenstein. So,
Gotcha.
really fun. Yeah, all this is ridiculous. Okay, so real quick, we're not reviewing this.
Okay,
Okay. Do you know
good.
why?
Because you only
I
read half of it,
well, no. I only looked at the preview pages. First off, this is the problem. The problem with this, what we're talking about is Bowling with Corpses, which was an original graphic novel. It looked to be because I watched Rock and Robbie Billups on Pop Culture Philosopher's Weekly Comic Book Review, and he had it. I don't know why this isn't the same size as like these books, as like the Mignola like hardcovers, which are like a little bit bigger. This seems to be a regular hardcover, regular trade
right?
hardcover. I
Well,
just
what
make it
size is
bigger.
this?
That's what this is going to be. It's going to be regular trade. It's a regular trade, regular
Regular
hardcover.
trade.
Yeah,
Okay, so it'll look like the Brubaker hardcovers that you were showing earlier, like that
yeah,
small
that's
size of a.
fine. I like my Magnolia shelf
I
to
know.
be
I
to be
like.
that. I like that size.
No,
I like that size.
I follow you. I follow you. I've only read about half of this actually. I sat down and read it, um, and I really enjoyed it. So we'll review it, I guess, next week. What do you see? You're gonna
Yeah,
wait to buy the hardcover?
yeah. The problem is right now, and I plopped this in because this is what I'm saying, is that I looked on Amazon. Amazon has it. This is the Amazon list, right? And Amazon has a couple of pages up, right? That's what I looked at a few of the pages. But Amazon has it up. You can buy it right on Kindle, $15, hardcover, $2 off. Thank you so much. Two 30 off. Wonderful. But look, February 12th through March 5th, or fastest delivery, February 12th through March 2nd. Oh, okay. Let me select that. What are you talking about? You know, I
Wait a minute.
just
Is this coming directly from Amazon or from a third party?
this is Amazon. That's Amazon.
So
Um,
it's probably going to be quicker than that.
Barnes and Noble has it. You can get it shipped to the store and it'll be in the store in 3 days. But when I looked at it, it said that it's out now. And I went to this 100 miles and no store had it. So I
Uh,
figured that where you were yesterday on the Glassboro in Jersey, I figured I was like, you know what, Alex might have got a copy, maybe a copy or two for the shelf. He does a lot of trades, but I don't remember
he's
him
got an
having a
excellent
big
comic store
Mignola
called the Comic Store in Glassboro. And what
comic book
Glassboro
store.
has is Rowan University, which is a pretty well known college throughout the United States. And that town is about 3 miles away from where I live.
Mm, yeah.
So he's got a really good store. A good he had to learn to adapt to a college clientele that is there. You can live
Mm,
on campus. They have dorms and such. So he's got half of his people probably leave every 3 to 4 years.
right.
But he makes a lot of money probably off gaming. It's a good store. It's pretty well set up. His trade selection is really good. I was there
Yeah,
looking at stuff yesterday.
the trade seemed to be what's doing best for him. It's trimmed down a little bit. Like you said, he redid the exterior slightly, where it's mainly trades and the wraparound, whereas they used
Right.
to be in different spots. He's not selling any more sets anymore. He does have a pretty good clearance rack typically, and he has good dollar bins.
It's
Okay.
good dollar bins, and he was smart. He pulled a bill move and made like a bunch of $3 boxes. Like he went through his dollar bins to look for the good books.
Yeah.
Foil covers,
Well,
square
I think
bounds.
I want to say he had a $5 section. I feel like the $5 section is gone. He has a good price section, and now the $3 section are his $5. I feel like it's a bit of both. I feel like you're right. I
Right.
feel like some of because you'd find some cool stuff in the dollars. You're like, holy crap, it's a dollar.
Yeah.
But that went up to threes. But I don't mind. But see, here's the thing: is I don't want to pay five. But if I'm buying a Conan, like a Conan pre 150,
Right.
I'll spend $3 on that. You know what I mean? Like because you
Agreed.
can't get those
And you know what else?
around.
Here's what else it is. The $3 bins are right at the right level for you to look through. The dollar
Hmm.
bins are on the floor. So if you want to
Yeah,
search for the deals, you got to be uncomfortable
yeah,
or
yeah.
risk hurting that back, pulling that box up top, which I don't know
I
if
don't
you
get
really
up.
want you to do
Or
that
my
or not.
butt's out. I got my butt crack out or my back hurts. So one
Yeah.
of the two, or both.
Or,
I don't want to
or you know what?
subject anyone to that.
No.
I need to get a new. You know what? I don't know why this would be such a. When we go to some of these shows and then they have like the crafty person that's at the comic book show, right? And they
Yeah.
sell like, wallets and it's they have like Deadpool bags or makeup bags or just stuff, right?
Right.
I should totally make uh like knee pads, like comic book knee pads. So when you go to these dollar bins or whatever on the floor, go to these conventions and you get on the floor, you just have like a Wolverine knee pad or something, and just whip it out,
Oh,
or just
with the
paint it.
giant like points too, like specifically.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know. It would be interesting, but my frustration is more so on myself. Every time this happens, is the pretty much the books that I buy that I like physically are the Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips books. I never pre-order them, And then the day they come out, I get all uppity, right? Then I call a couple shops. I called Final Boss, and they said, "Oh, it didn't ship." I called another place that it didn't ship. One guy didn't know. I called four stores total. Three didn't know what I was talking about. Comic book store knew what I was talking about. They got one, and then they realized it was for a pull bin. That's it, not one for shelf. And look, I can't blame these stores for not putting stuff extra, but it just bums me out and you out because really, South Jersey's having a there's no mainline consistent store. Alex has to have that store in that specific way, but it's not a heavy new release store. Ron's Comic World makes the majority of his money off of like Magic tournaments and stuff. Probably Alex makes a ton of money off of having the different Magic tournaments, Pokemon tournaments, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like the majority there's no comic store, right?
There's no comic store like the comic store we had. Like we were talking, I said, Mark, what would you have ordered on this like Mignola hardcover?
15. So it's
15.
25 bucks.
It's
15.
25. It's a $25 hardcover, which is a
Yeah.
hell of an investment. But you already knew you probably had 6 to 8 pulls.
Well, no, I'm saying 15. Well, I would say almost, yeah, you're right. But like the way I thought about it is we probably had eight to nine pre-sold. I would say five or six for shelf, and I would move them by that weekend. By that weekend, I'd hand them to people.
Yeah, because you
Someone
knew
come in
your
and say, "Oh,
clientele.
crap, you know what came out? Crap. You know what came out?
Like
Holy crap. Hey, do you like, because here's the thing, you have two different fans for this. Well, you have a couple. You have Amazing Screw on Head fans aren't necessarily like
Hellboy
wacky
fans. Yeah.
sock monkey, like more esoteric, right? You would give this book to people who read Eight Ball, Black Hole, like just
Hmm.
Milk and Cheese, any Evan Dorkin stuff. Like it's skewed more. Uh, uh, Love and Rockets. You're gonna give this book more so to the esoteric Mignola. We like all Mignola. We're fine. We're good. Because we're good with um Amazing Screw on Head. We're good with like a lot of the odd, and again, all the odd Mignola stuff is not necessarily a mistake, but stuff that he wasn't sure was going to fly. One of his most famous Hellboy stories was like a two-pager called Pancakes that was in like a one shot. It's
Right.
one everyone loved it, which basically created that like weirdness, and the reaction to that weirdness created multiple young Hellboy miniseries, right?
Hmm.
Tom Sinoski and Craig
Craig
Rizzo,
Rousseau.
yeah. So, but also created Amazing Screw on Head, where he's like, "Oh, I can just do weirdo stuff, and you guys will buy it." And then everyone's like, "Sure." I mean, Amazing Screw on Head was a short cartoon film, right?
Yeah,
Like,
with Paul Giamatti. That's Amazing Scroll on Head.
yeah. So, which
That,
you could
that was great.
probably find or YouTube it
It's
or
it's on
something,
it's
but
on YouTube. Last I checked.
yeah. But I just mean like it's so for me, and I understand what it's called. I understand that it's called Bowling with Corpses and Other Strange, uh, it's pure Mignola. No Chris Golden, no Arcudi, no problem. So it's
No,
very,
no
very
Hellboy.
no Hellboy. It's
Not
not
even a
from,
reference. It's just
yeah,
weird,
it's not the
short,
strange
mistold
objects,
stories.
the little onion that's up there. It's not up there. Even though I want to
Right.
say now I figured that out. I feel that's his. I believe that's his production company because when you go inside, like I saw one or two of the interior pages and it had that as like, and then
Listen,
DC, like I think
see,
that's
like
his. Yeah,
onions, like a story, has a lot of layers.
yeah, dude.
That's
So how
why.
many
That's
you
probably
read? How many?
probably 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's been long. They've all been fun though. They're just fun stories. I
Yeah,
really
and
dig
and
it.
and, and it's not logical. I mean, like what's cool about like you could see like the duck and the chicken are just talking,
Oh yeah, yeah.
or the rooster. What's happening? So I don't know, but and also like the other thing too is that like Barnes
Now,
and Noble it was not
what's
on
your
sale.
password on Amazon?
I'm not gonna say that. You can tell everybody that.
Is it Paco Rabbit? Yep. If
Yes.
I accidentally guessed it, I'm sorry.
You can guess Pocket Rabbit 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it's probably pretty close to that. Maybe an exclamation point.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, 22, but that's what I mean is like it's not on sale. So yeah, I need to really kind of look at like when we looked at those omnibuses earlier, I should be able to figure out what I might be selling or trading up. Yesterday I spent I don't know how many hours like rearranging, probably three, rearranging different pieces of my collection, stuff I can get rid of, stuff I can want to upgrade or replace. So I want to kind of think about. There's a lot of good new release stuff coming out that I think I would want physically. That Steve Ditko Omnibus, for example. Like I had that,
Right.
and I let that go. And now they're doing a better version of it with a little bit extra stuff in it that wasn't in the other two. And I'm like, so I need to trade up in it. You know what I mean? Like we're really hard to spend money, you and I, because of our
If I could,
daughters, basically, right? Like we don't think our money needs to go. Like if we spend anything on ourselves, we feel horrible. We feel really weird and guilty, right? You may have been okay. How many stouts you have yesterday? Would you spend $30 max? And then even then you're probably like,
well,
oh,
I went with Walt, and Walt's so happy to hang.
Walt pays for it.
Walt doesn't have he pays for a portion of it. Like he
Mhm.
bought the first round, I bought the second round, and then he bought the third round. He'll always buy the first round because Walt doesn't have any kids. His house is paid
Right.
for. He's doing good. He's a UPS driver, so he makes as much as me, but
Mhm.
has less responsibility than me. So he
Right.
doesn't mind
It's richer.
because we're good friends. Like we're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like,
Yep.
I don't
We've
owe him
known Walt
anything.
for 28 years. Right.
Yeah, I invited him to my first wedding, and I'd only been friends with him for like a year.
Mm.
Wedding one,
W1.
he made it to wedding two. You didn't though. You
Nah.
were gone. You were
I was
gone, Mark.
gone.
You
What
know
an
why? Because
idiot.
you didn't invite me to wedding one.
Stupid,
What a
man.
jerk. Oh, I'll have Ron there. Ron will be my friend forever. Ron. Oh, Ron
Yeah.
didn't go. Oh, that's
Ron didn't
right.
go. No, it
See,
was
should
over
have
state
invited me.
lines. I know, but we were paying for a lot of it ourselves.
I know you
I
were.
shouldn't even have A in there. Hilariously. So,
Ian, he'll be your best friend forever.
no.
Isn't it funny the way it works out though? Just
Yeah,
weird.
that's funny.
Um,
I would say we defend him, but he doesn't watch the show long enough. He watched the show like 6 minutes at a time.
we are friends forever. It's just we don't talk to Ian as much
Yeah.
because he moved. He moved to Philly, and Philly sucks. I mean,
You
Philly's great.
people,
Philly's great for Philly people. I just don't. I'm suburban,
that's
dude. I'm suburban dad. Can't help it.
suburban home. All
Yeah.
right, that's
Let's
it
wrap
for
it up. You know what?
the
Unless you want to share with
reviews.
people, I just sent you. I had to look it up. It is Extreme Warrior. I sent you two pictures. So
Extreme Warrior.
if you want to share them, yeah. He was a character that showed up in Extreme Prejudice across the first Extreme crossover. So I'm like, because I was sitting here, I'm like, what the hell's that
Oh
character's
my
name?
God. I don't
Like,
remember this at all. Ooh,
yeah,
look at that
Extreme
dampen
Prejudice
ocean.
Zero. I know, nice dampen ocean. You
I
got to
don't
share
remember
this with the
this at
people.
all.
I think he had
Oh
the
my
special order
God.
Extreme Prejudice Zero.
I don't remember this at all, dude.
And this Liefeld double page, I think, shows up in like Bloodstrike 7 or something.
Holy crap.
Fun
Oh
stuff.
boy. Extreme. Look at the look at the logo. Wait, was it Warrior a guy? Was it the Ultimate Warrior? And then he
The
had the
Ultimate
Comic Book
Warrior.
Warrior.
Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior
Doesn't
was
look too
that.
different from that. I mean, really. Is
No,
that on his arm? Is that his arm? Is that
what
like in
that gun thing
yeah,
or the sword? I don't know.
that is his
It's
arm. It's like every character though, like right? He's got like what's this? He's wearing like a vest, like a double-breasted vest here coming out.
yeah, it's a
And this is
little bit of like the
that's
collar,
Prophet's you
shoulder.
know,
They're multiple shoulder pads. They're like
yeah, two
layered
shoulder
shoulder
pads.
pads. Got
Got
the
the
pouches.
belt
It's got
pouches.
the Weapon X Kane Garrison kind of collar. One
Wow.
hand like it's like a gun. You can see the fist, I think, at the bottom. The other
This
hand's
is
got the
unreal,
sword.
dude.
You can see the sword case on his leg. More pouches on his leg. Knee pads. There you go, Mark. There's your knee pads for looking up comics. Got a bandana. He's got the red stripe over his eye, like Death Blow. This is everything. This is
Does he
like,
have a star on his eye?
oh, is that a scar over the other eye? I don't know. Got the bandana, the awesome
Oh
hair.
man,
He's he's everything. Everything you want to be in a
it's
character, an extreme
everything.
character. He's a parody of an
Extreme
extreme character.
in an extreme book.
An extreme book.
Yeah.
It's almost like I wonder if it's an answer to
Who
a
is that? Is that forearm? Like it's
yeah, forearm.
forearm
No,
maybe.
foreplay. Her name's
Foreplay.
Foreplay. And I think she's punching Quantum there,
Yeah, yeah,
Battlestone and Cabot's dad.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God. Extreme Prejudice Zero. Yeah, baby. Did he draw that? Did Pinocchio draw that, or that's just a variant?
I think he drew it.
God, I'd love it. Oh my God. See,
You
I keep finding these Pinocchio books I didn't know about. I didn't know about Prophet Zero, and he drew that. Extreme Prejudice. That's crazy talk, man. All right, well, I
I
know
can
what
tell
I'm
you
doing tonight.
gotta
I
find
know
that
what I'm
book.
doing tonight. Gotta find it. All right, let's wrap it up. We gotta
Extreme.
go. We're doing pretty good though. I think
No, we did pretty good.
we did pretty
So
good.
let's wrap it up. Everyone have a great week. Catch us
Yep.
later for who knows? Who knows what you'll get?
Who knows?
At the
Who
latest,
knows?
you'll get the news next week.
At the latest. All right, see you, everybody.
Everyone.